In the quiet moments of reflection, we often search for clarity. Thomas Paine invites us to explore the power of reason over revelation. Thomas Paine was a luminary of the Enlightenment era. Born in England in the year 1737, he became an influential writer and thinker. Paine's journey took him from England to the American colonies, where he became a voice for change. His writings inspired revolution and reform, challenging established norms and conventions. Among his notable works is Common Sense, a pamphlet that urged American independence. Yet, it was his later work, The Age of Reason, that would truly shake the foundations of religious thought. In the 18th century, religion held significant sway over society. Many accepted divine revelation as unquestionable truth. Paine, however, saw things differently. He believed that reason should guide our understanding of the world. He argued that revelation was not a direct message from the divine, but rather a creation of human minds. This perspective was revolutionary at a time when religious orthodoxy dominated. Paine's The Age of Reason questioned the validity of religious texts. He argued that they were often contradictory and lacked the consistency of reason. For Paine, these texts were not the word of God, but the work of men. He encouraged individuals to seek truth through observation and rational thought. Paine believed that nature itself held the true revelations. The universe, in its vast complexity, was a testament to a divine presence. Yet, this presence was not revealed through holy books, but through the natural world itself. Paine challenged the idea that religious institutions held the keys to spiritual understanding. He saw them as barriers to true enlightenment. Organized religion, in his view, often used revelation as a tool for control. By questioning revelation, Paine sought to liberate human thought from dogma. He urged people to use their own minds to explore the mysteries of existence. His ideas were considered radical by many. Critics labeled him a heretic, a voice of dissent against tradition. Yet, Paine maintained that his critique was not an attack on the divine itself. Rather, it was a call to find a deeper, more personal connection to the universe. Paine's vision was of a world where reason and faith could coexist. He believed that rational thought could complement spiritual beliefs. For Paine, the pursuit of knowledge was a moral duty. He saw reason as a divine gift, a tool for uncovering truth. Through reason, individuals could achieve a more profound understanding of their place in the cosmos. Paine argued that this understanding was essential for human progress. In his view, an enlightened society was one that embraced reason as its guiding principle. Paine's emphasis on reason did not dismiss the role of faith in human life. Instead, he sought to harmonize these elements in a meaningful way. He believed that faith, when grounded in reason, could lead to spiritual fulfillment. Paine's ideas encouraged a reevaluation of how we perceive the world around us. They invite us to think critically about the sources of our beliefs. His words continue to resonate today as we grapple with questions of faith and reason. Paine's challenge to religious orthodoxy remains a powerful call to think independently. He reminds us that true understanding requires an open mind and a willingness to question. As we navigate our own beliefs, Paine's insights offer valuable guidance. In The Age of Reason, Thomas Paine presents a compelling argument. He asserts that reason, not revelation, should be our compass. This perspective invites us to look beyond the surface of our beliefs. Paine's ideas provoke thought and inspire dialogue. They encourage us to engage with the world in a thoughtful and deliberate manner. This exploration of reason and revelation is more than a historical inquiry. It is a journey into the heart of what it means to be human. Paine's work challenges us to consider how we understand the divine. It asks us to reflect on the role of reason in our spiritual lives. In doing so, Paine opens a dialogue that continues to this day. As we contemplate these themes, we are reminded of the enduring power of Paine's vision. He offers a path to enlightenment through the use of reason. In embracing this path, we may find new insights and a deeper connection to the world. Thomas Paine's legacy is one of courage and conviction. His willingness to challenge convention has left an indelible mark on history. He invites us to see the world with fresh eyes, guided by the light of reason. Through his work, we find an invitation to explore the intersection of reason and faith. Critics of Thomas Paine often labeled his views as heretical. These dissenters saw his writings as a threat to established religious doctrines. In their eyes, Paine's ideas undermined the authority of sacred texts and religious leaders. This criticism did not deter him, however. Paine remained steadfast in his belief that reason should prevail over revelation. He understood the power of tradition and the comfort it provided to many. Yet he argued that clinging to tradition without scrutiny stifled human progress. Paine's critique was not a call to abandon faith altogether. Instead, he urged a careful examination of beliefs through the lens of reason. This approach, he believed, would lead to a more authentic understanding of spirituality. Paine's insistence on reason did not come from a place of arrogance. It stemmed from a sincere desire to empower individuals. He believed that when people engaged their rational faculties, they could achieve true enlightenment. This enlightenment was not just intellectual, but also spiritual. For Paine, reason was a pathway to a deeper connection with the divine. In reflecting on Paine's ideas, we are invited to consider how reason and faith intersect in our lives. This intersection is not always straightforward. It requires a balance between critical thinking and spiritual openness. Paine's work encourages us to embrace this dynamic tension. He challenges us to question without losing the essence of what we hold sacred. Paine's vision of reason and faith coexisting is a powerful message for modern times. As the world becomes increasingly complex, the need for thoughtful engagement with belief systems grows. Paine's writings remind us that questioning does not equate to disbelief. Instead, it is an essential part of a vibrant spiritual journey. His ideas prompt us to look inward and examine our own convictions. Are they rooted in genuine understanding, or are they inherited without question? Paine's emphasis on reason compels us to seek clarity. It encourages a dialogue between the mind and the heart, where truth can be discovered. The legacy of Thomas Paine is one of intellectual bravery. His willingness to challenge the status quo inspires us to do the same. In exploring the relationship between reason and revelation, Paine offers a framework for navigating our beliefs. He invites us to engage with the world thoughtfully and deliberately. As we consider Paine's insights, we recognize the timeless relevance of his work. His call for reason resonates in a world filled with diverse perspectives. Paine's vision of an enlightened society remains a goal worth striving for. It is a society where individuals think critically and embrace the richness of varied beliefs. In closing, the journey through Thomas Paine's philosophy is a reminder of the power of reason. It is an invitation to explore the depths of our understanding. Paine encourages us to look beyond the surface and find meaning in the intersection of reason and faith. His insights challenge us to remain curious and open-minded. Join us next time as we explore another profound philosophical perspective. We will continue to navigate the rich landscape of human thought. In the late 18th century, the Enlightenment period marked a profound transformation in Western thought. This era, often called the Age of Reason, was characterized by a burgeoning emphasis on reason, science, and individualism. Intellectuals of the time sought to challenge the long-held dogmas of tradition and authority, particularly those of the Church. This period saw a significant shift towards empirical evidence and rational inquiry as the primary means of understanding the world. The intellectual climate was ripe with debate as thinkers like Voltaire, Rousseau, and Locke questioned the societal structures that had governed for centuries. There was a growing tension between tradition and emerging ideas rooted in reason. Old hierarchies faced scrutiny, and the divine right of kings and the absolute power of the Church came under fire. The Enlightenment thinkers advocated for freedom of thought and expression, laying the groundwork for modern democratic ideals. Thomas Paine wrote during this time of ideological upheaval. He was deeply influenced by Enlightenment principles, which became a cornerstone of his critique of organized religion. Paine's writings reflect the era's spirit, challenging the status quo and advocating for a society grounded in reason and secular governance. In his seminal work, The Age of Reason, Thomas Paine launched a robust critique of organized religion. He argued that religious institutions often wielded undue power, shaping societal norms to maintain control. Paine viewed the Church as a human invention, one that corrupted the pure essence of divine worship. He was particularly critical of the way religious authorities claimed divine right to govern, which he saw as a tool to oppress and manipulate believers. Paine challenged the authenticity of sacred texts, questioning the legitimacy of scriptures that were, in his view, written and altered by flawed human hands. He believed that organized religion frequently distorted the teachings of spirituality, using them to enforce dogma rather than promote genuine moral guidance. By appealing to reason, Paine sought to liberate individuals from the bonds of what he termed priestcraft, a system where clergy held sway over personal faith and societal values. His critique was not a dismissal of spirituality. Instead, Paine called for a rational approach to belief, one that encouraged personal interpretation and direct connection to the divine. This radical perspective invited significant backlash, yet it also laid the groundwork for discussions on the separation of church and state. The Enlightenment era was a period of immense intellectual ferment. Thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau significantly shaped Thomas Paine's philosophy. Voltaire, known for his wit and criticism of the church, championed freedom of thought. He believed in reason as a guiding principle in human affairs. Paine admired Voltaire's skepticism toward organized religion and his advocacy for civil liberties. This influence is evident in Paine's own emphasis on individual rights and reason. Jean-Jacques Rousseau offered another perspective. He emphasized the concept of the social contract and the importance of individual freedom within a community. Rousseau's ideas about the general will and the sovereignty of the people resonated with Paine. They informed Paine's vision of democratic governance and personal liberty. Paine shared Rousseau's belief in the potential for human improvement through reason and education. Both Voltaire and Rousseau contributed to Paine's critique of tradition and authority. Their ideas encouraged him to question societal norms and seek rational foundations for beliefs. Paine's philosophy was thus a synthesis of Enlightenment ideals. It was an assertion that reason could coexist with a genuine spiritual experience. This intellectual lineage continued to influence debates about reason and faith in the modern world. Paine envisioned a society where reason was the guiding principle. He believed education was the cornerstone of such a society. Paine advocated for educational reform that would make learning accessible to all, not just the privileged. He argued that a well-informed populace was essential for true democracy. Education, in his view, should emphasize critical thinking and scientific inquiry. By promoting these values, Paine believed society could overcome ignorance and superstition. He saw science as a tool for progress, capable of improving human life. Paine encouraged the pursuit of knowledge and innovation. This, he argued, would lead to technological advancements and economic prosperity. Paine's vision also included a moral dimension. He believed that reason would foster empathy and cooperation among individuals. In a rational society, citizens would act not out of blind faith, but out of a thoughtful consideration of justice and common good. Paine's ideas laid the groundwork for future discussions on the role of education and science in public life. His vision challenged societies to rethink the balance between tradition and progress, emphasizing the potential of reason to transform human experience positively. Thomas Paine faced significant criticism from his contemporaries, particularly for his radical ideas on religion and morality. Many accused him of atheism, a serious charge in the 18th century. Critics argued that Paine's rejection of organized religion undermined the moral fabric of society. They feared that without traditional religious guidance, society would descend into moral relativism, where values became subjective and unstable. Paine's work, The Age of Reason, was at the center of these controversies. In it, he questioned the authenticity of the Bible and criticized religious institutions. His emphasis on deism, which acknowledged a creator but rejected organized religion, was seen by some as an attack on the foundations of faith. Paine, however, countered these accusations by clarifying that his intent was not to abolish religion, but to purify it. He sought a belief system grounded in reason rather than dogma. Despite these rebuttals, the label of an atheist stuck, used by critics to dismiss his broader philosophical contributions. These debates highlighted the tension between emerging Enlightenment ideals and traditional belief systems. Paine's engagement with critics revealed the challenges of advocating for a society rooted in reason while maintaining respect for personal beliefs. In the next section, we will explore Paine's rebuttal to his critics in more detail. Thomas Paine responded to his critics by emphasizing that reason and genuine religious belief are not mutually exclusive. He argued that his critique was not of faith itself, but of its institutionalization and the dogmas that suppress rational inquiry. Paine believed that true religion should withstand the scrutiny of reason, and that genuine faith should inspire moral and ethical behavior without coercion. He insisted that his works, particularly The Age of Reason, aimed to liberate individuals from blind adherence to doctrines that contradicted common sense. Paine also took issue with the misinterpretation of his writings. He clarified that his intent was not to incite atheism, but to encourage a personal and reasoned approach to belief. For Paine, understanding the natural world and its laws should deepen one's appreciation of a creator, not diminish it. He called for a form of spirituality rooted in the observable universe rather than in the supernatural assertions of organized religion. Through his rebuttals, Paine sought to bridge the divide between faith and reason, advocating for a society where individuals could hold personal beliefs aligned with rational principles. In the next section, we will consider the modern implications of Paine's philosophy. In contemporary society, Thomas Paine's philosophy remains significantly relevant. His emphasis on reason and critical inquiry resonates strongly in current debates surrounding science and religion. In an era where scientific advancements often clash with religious doctrines, Paine's call for evidence-based belief systems encourages a discourse that values empirical knowledge over dogma. Paine's advocacy for secularism also finds echoes today. As many societies grapple with the balance between religious influence and state affairs, his ideas provide a framework supporting the separation of church and state. This separation is crucial in ensuring that personal freedoms and diverse beliefs coexist without infringing upon individual rights. Moreover, Paine's emphasis on freedom of thought is particularly pertinent in a world where information is abundant, yet often manipulated. Encouraging individuals to think critically and question authority fosters a more informed and engaged citizenry. His vision supports an environment where diverse perspectives can be explored, fostering a culture of dialogue rather than division. As we navigate these modern complexities, Paine's philosophy offers a guidepost for harmonizing reason and faith, emphasizing the importance of rational discourse in shaping societies. Next, we will explore case studies that illustrate the interplay between reason and faith in practice. One pertinent example is the Quakers, or the Religious Society of Friends. This movement emerged in the 17th century and continues to thrive today. Quakers emphasize inner light and personal experience of the divine, yet they also value reasoned discussion and consensus in decision-making. This balance between faith and reason aligns with Paine's ideals. Another case is the Unitarian Universalist tradition. This group encourages individual search for truth and meaning. While embracing diverse theological perspectives, it promotes rational inquiry and ethical living. This exemplifies the synthesis of reason and faith. Additionally, the life of Albert Schweitzer offers insight. A theologian and philosopher, Schweitzer pursued humanitarian work in Africa. He integrated his religious convictions with a rational approach to ethics, promoting reverence for life. These examples highlight how communities and individuals can embody a balanced approach. They demonstrate how reason and faith can coexist without conflict. This harmonious integration fosters a more inclusive and understanding society. In the next section, we will delve into Paine's influence on education and politics, shedding light on how his ideas continue to shape these domains. Thomas Paine's legacy in education and politics is profound. His advocacy for reason and critical thinking has left a lasting impact on modern educational practices. Educators today emphasize critical thinking skills, encouraging students to question assumptions and develop independent thought. Paine's ideas resonate in classrooms where the focus is on inquiry and debate rather than rote memorization. In politics, Paine's vision of a rational society translates into democratic ideals that prioritize equality and justice. His writings, particularly in The Rights of Man, underscore the importance of a government that derives its power from the consent of the governed. Paine's influence is evident in the democratic movements that value transparency, accountability, and the protection of individual rights. His emphasis on reason over tradition has also inspired political systems that adapt and reform based on rational discourse rather than dogma. Paine's belief in the capability of the common person to govern themselves has been a cornerstone in the development of participatory democracy. In the next section, we will explore how reason plays a role in personal belief systems, examining the balance between individual reason and faith. Individuals today can draw from Paine's principles to cultivate personal belief systems that are both introspective and thoughtful. By emphasizing reason, people are encouraged to question their assumptions and beliefs. Paine advocated for a reliance on evidence and logic. This can lead individuals to reassess long-held beliefs, fostering a more authentic spirituality. Engaging with different perspectives and examining the foundations of one's faith can promote growth and understanding. Paine's ideas suggest that spirituality need not be static or dictated by external authority. Instead, it can evolve through personal reflection and dialogue. Paine believed that reason should guide moral and ethical decisions. Individuals can apply this by evaluating their values and actions against rational criteria. This process can refine personal beliefs, making them more resilient and coherent. Moreover, Paine's emphasis on reason does not negate the value of faith. Rather, it encourages a synergy where faith is informed by reason. This balanced approach allows individuals to embrace uncertainty with an open but critical mind. Thus, Paine's vision offers a path where reason and faith coexist, each enriching the other. In the following section, we will synthesize how reason and faith can harmonize in today's world. Thomas Paine's philosophy suggests that reason and faith need not be adversaries. Instead, they can form a complementary alliance. By applying rational thought to matters of faith, individuals and societies can foster a more nuanced understanding of both the spiritual and the empirical. Paine believed that reason could illuminate faith, shedding light on beliefs that might otherwise remain unquestioned. This approach encourages a dialogue where faith is not abandoned, but rather refined and supported by evidence and logic. To create a harmonious relationship between reason and faith, one must appreciate the distinct roles they play. Reason provides the tools to question and explore, while faith offers a sense of meaning and purpose that transcends pure logic. In Paine's view, a society that values both can achieve moral and intellectual advancement. This synthesis leads to personal growth and societal progress, where human creativity and rationality work together to address complex challenges. Ultimately, Paine's insights propose a framework where reason guides faith without diminishing its value. Such a balance can inspire individuals and communities to pursue truth and understanding, fostering a world enriched by both critical inquiry and spiritual depth. In weaving together reason and faith, Paine offers a vision for a harmonious society. He sees a world where each complements the other, enriching human experience. This dual respect for rational thought and spiritual belief encourages a comprehensive approach to understanding life's complexities. By nurturing both, we can cultivate a culture that thrives on inquiry, yet remains open to the mysteries that transcend reason. The call to balance these elements is as relevant today as it was in Paine's time, inviting us to reflect on how best to navigate our own moral and intellectual paths. As we consider new challenges and seek meaningful progress, his framework remains a guiding light. In our next essay, we will explore how another philosopher confronts the tension between individual freedom and social responsibility. Join us as we delve into new insights and perspectives.